personally, and it's not to be a kiss ass or whatever, but we're like, yo, James Marsters is playing Piccolo. But hell with everybody else, let's go. But personally, like, what was it like for you, like the entire filming process? And be as brutally honest as you can, your honest opinion of the final product.
Okay. So many levels. First of all, this is the first project that my son cared about at all. Like, when I got on Torchwood, I called him up and I said, man, I got a samurai sword, I got 2 guns, man, I got this wristwatch, I can go through time. He goes, Dad, do you win? I'm like, what? And he goes, man, at the end of the thing, man, you always have a fight, you always lose. Do you win or lose? I'm like, I lose. Next. But when he found out I was doing Piccolo, he was just like, because he and I have watched every episode that we can get of the whole thing, from Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT. We stopped at Dragon Ball GT. And it helped me raise him in that I think the theme of Dragon Ball is, how does one be a man? What is it to be a man? What's the difference between Goku and Vegeta? Sorry if some people don't know Dragon Ball. The basic thing is that a man, and I agree with this, according to the series, a man is humble, a man is peaceful, a man is goofy. If you allow a man his druthers, he will be in a hammock watching butterflies and playing with his kids. But if you attack his family, he will kill you. But it's like a good cop, you know, or a UN peacekeeper. They're there to enforce peace, but only if absolutely necessary. So Goku is a goofy guy, you know, and he's fun-loving, but if you attack his family, you're toast. Vegeta, on the other hand, is an overgrown boy. That's why he's so short. Seriously, I think. So he creates chaos in order to prove himself against. And you can see this with a lot of males. They might be 40 years old, but they're still in the boy mentality, and they're still creating chaos with other people so that they can prove how tough they are. But that's not men, right? So this helped me kind of talk to my son about becoming a man. So when I went into this movie, I was passionate. I was ready. And they told me that Stephen Chow was producing this film, and that it was a $130 million picture. Stephen Chow directed Kung Fu Hustle and Shaolin Soccer, and when I found that out, I was like, oh man, this is going to be awesome, he's perfect. I get to Durango, Mexico, it's got 2,000-foot elevation, no one's met Stephen Chow, he's only on paper, and it's a $30 million picture. And I'm like, okay, never mind. Let's go for it. And didn't get a stuntman. There was a stuntman for it, Danny Hernandez, but every time they put him up in front of the camera, they only put like a pullover mask on him, like a lot of times they do on stuntmen. But his face was a lot different than mine, and it just didn't look like the same character. So they would just be like, "Wake up, James! Get him out of his trailer, put him up on the wire, right?" And I remember realizing that they just weren't going to use Danny. When I get to set, and Danny's up on a 30-foot cliff, and he's on a wire, and the gag is that he gets sucked off the cliff into this pot, this mafu pot. And the gag is just to get sucked off the cliff and start a rotation, so that the next shot, we do a different shot where he's rotating, and then there's a lot of it in the sequence. And Danny does the gag, but he jumps too far off the cliff, comes back on the wire against the cliff, face plants on the cliff, and just cheese grates along like 30 feet. And everyone's doing exactly that while he's filming, like, oh, Jesus! And they lower Danny down, and he's kind of like... And the director turns to me and goes, ready, James? And I go, wait a minute, do we have playback on that? And I look at it, and Danny is this big in the frame, you can't tell anything. I mean, like, and I'm like, you know, this is a very small shot of Piccolo, maybe Danny can do this. And he's like, no, it's going to be on the big screen, go. Luckily, I was showing off for my girlfriend, and I decided to do it. So, Danny did one shot. There's one shot where he goes through 2 pillars, but everything else is new. So, I think that if we would have done Dragon Ball Z, right off the top. If we would have had Goku with say, white hair, blasting a mountain away in the first shot of the film, it would have been a huge hit. But frankly, we were, as a company, trying to be true to the entire story, and we did Dragon Ball. And in Dragon Ball, Goku is 12 years old, and he's fighting midgets the whole time. And it's kind of cute and light. And we knew that we couldn't go that far, but we tried to go as far that way as we could. And I think that any fan that was expecting Dragon Ball Z will look at that film and go, that ain't it. But if you look at Dragon Ball and compare it to, you can kind of go, huh, that's actually kind of has some balls. I just wish Stephen Chow would have been with us in the Durango, frankly. So that's what I'll say.
Thank you. You're welcome.